Hello, everyone, and welcome to Developod, the podcast from IATEFL TDSIG. That's the Teacher Development Special Interest Group. I'm Helen, and on today's episode, I'm going to be interviewing Anna Loseva. Anna, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
We're happy to have you too. Anna, could you tell us a little bit about how you would describe your ELT self?
Thank you. You're starting with the most difficult question of all, right? That's how you like that's how you like to do it, just jumping right off the cliff.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, to be honest, when you told me before the interview that's going to be the question to start, I was racking my brain. What is it?
Mm.
My ELT self. I guess I don't really like teaching has been my life
Mhm.
for most of my life. So
Mhm.
maybe I'm not alone in that, and the listeners will
Mhm.
relate to that.
Mhm.
But I feel like I talk about teaching every day. It's less about English language teaching these days, and we can get to that.
Mhm.
But just being a teacher, I think, is a big part of my identity,
Yeah.
maybe the major part of my
Yeah.
identity. So that's where I'm at. And you can ask me any other questions to figure out more if that's too vague for us.
No, that's totally fine. So you're not the first person to answer something like that and say, well, I
I
don't have
bet
any ELT self. Myself is
is
one
myself.
thing, and I just have lots
Yeah.
of different parts.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, are, we talk about looking back and looking forward. Um,
Mhm.
TD SIG is has become 40 years old this year that
Right.
we're recording
Mhm.
this in 2025, although it won't be out until 2026.
All
Um,
right.
so I was wondering how long you've been involved in ELT and how did you start? What was your first role?
Yeah. I guess my first job, you could say, when I started tutoring
Hmm.
kids,
Hmm.
I was 19 years old.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say this number. This was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 20 years ago.
Hmm.
At first, it was tutoring kids, still being a university student. I think it was in
Hmm.
my second year. Uh-huh. And then I worked in a private school back in
Hmm.
Moscow, where
Hmm.
um, and then I had more steps on the journey that
Yeah.
led me to Southeast Asia, where I am right now in Vietnam.
Yeah. Wow. So you started with tutoring kids, then you moved into working at like a private language academy.
No, it was actually a private school, a
Ah,
comprehensive school where I was an English teacher. It was a tiny school. We probably had 45, 50 students total from
wow.
primary to high school.
That is really small.
It was really tiny, yeah. And I was still a student, by the
Yeah.
way. I was in my last 2 years of 5-year teacher training program at my
Oh.
university. So I was studying, writing my thesis, and working full time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess I was really excited. In
Hmm.
my When we had to do teaching practice
Hmm.
for a month at my university as part of our study program. Um, so for a month, I was teaching with my pals, like with my classmates from
Yeah.
university, and we had a supervisor, and we had a month of in in training, right,
Hmm.
with
Yeah.
all the things that come out of it. And in that first month, I was just so excited about teaching, and
Hmm.
even though I had entered a teacher training university,
Yeah.
I did not expect to be a teacher. To be honest, I only entered that university because I thought that I love working with people. I love being
Hmm.
around people,
Yeah.
and I love language, and I like reading and writing. So I was like, I don't know, what can I do? Let's go there.
Yeah.
Uh, and I had no interest in being a teacher until until I was forced to be one for a month.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And the atmosphere was so exciting, and the creativity that it allowed
Hmm.
me to show, it was just so great. So
Hmm.
straight off the bat, right after that 1 month
Yeah.
that we all had to go through, I know that a lot of my university mates realized in that month that this is the last thing they want to do in their life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually,
It's
did
true.
not
Teaching isn't for everyone, is it?
know. And I guess it was lucky for them to figure it out like
Yeah.
as they were studying.
Hmm.
And for me, it was the reverse. So I just asked around and found that school, that tiny school in my neighborhood,
Hmm.
and was the only English teacher for all existing classes. So
Oh,
I taught without even still having my teaching degree. I had
wow.
I was teaching primary school, middle school, high school, and
Wow.
it was really exciting until it wasn't.
What happened when it wasn't?
Well, um, the exciting part was the creativity, like I said before, and
Hmm.
also the management was very
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah.
Um, they really had open hands towards my ideas about
Yeah.
changing course books. So
Ah.
I reached out to parents, I reached out to teachers, and anyway, we organized the fact that the whole school moved towards like from Soviet style course books
Hmm.
to modern style course books that we
Gotcha.
all now
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And it was a huge change for that
Hmm.
environment. And so the fact that I could do that,
Yeah.
that my enthusiasm was met with enthusiasm,
Yeah.
um, was really, really happy moment for me.
Yeah.
But then the management changed.
Ah.
Uh, and in that small school, it really had quick effects on
Yeah.
how things started to work and
Right.
how teachers were treated, myself included. And because I was so young, I was 21, 22 years old,
Yeah.
I, I couldn't really stand up for myself. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
And I saw I saw older teachers being treated in what I didn't think was fair or polite
Yeah.
ways.
Hmm.
And so just a few months later, I realized that I cannot, like that environment, just the environment that was created,
Hmm.
uh, students set aside, students were still students, and
Yeah.
in my classroom, I could still do what I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
just the whole environment changed completely. So
Yeah.
actually, after that, after 2 years of working at that school, at that moment, I was seriously considering dropping teaching.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that workplace environment had a big impact on how you viewed the profession.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I guess so.
Yeah. And what happened after that? Where did your journey take you?
Well, I was lucky, super lucky that I did not drop the job. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I managed to get a job through friends again. One of my university mates suggested, and I got a English teaching position at university. That
Hmm.
was my first time when I started teaching at university, and my students were physics majors, which was a
Ah,
very fun challenge.
yeah.
So I learned a lot about physics. So I was doing both general English and ESP in that way.
Yeah. Wow. English for specific purposes for physics. I imagine
Yes.
that came with its own challenges, but also it must have been so interesting.
It was so exciting. And
Mm.
again, I just have to say it again. The management, my boss,
Mhm.
was so supportive again of my
Yeah.
enthusiasm, which I had a
Yeah.
lot back then.
Yeah.
And so she encouraged me to develop materials, to do interesting things in class,
Hmm.
to work with other teachers who were also interested in creating some. So we collaborated on writing some textbooks. They were
Hmm.
just inside our department,
Hmm.
but we worked on them. It was super exciting time, really great. I'm so thankful for
Yeah.
that environment that allowed
Yeah.
me to uh, remember how teaching can be great. And also from that time, I realized that the university environment actually is the place where I feel I belong in terms of teaching.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Understood. So, when you were at the small school with 45 students, and then again in this school where you did that ESP work, um, the management had a big impact, and also your connections with the students. Only 45 of lots of different levels, but what was the group size like at
At the
your second placement?
at school, at the
Yeah,
first school.
yeah.
Yeah, so in that first school, it was anywhere. Sometimes I had one student in class
Wow. One on one.
at that first school. Up to I don't know, maybe 8, 10 was maximum, probably 10.
Yeah.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sometimes I had one or two students in class. It was
Yeah.
a really unique place.
Yeah.
Um, and at university, the groups were what, 18, about from around 18, probably maximum
Yeah.
20, maybe not even 20.
And that's a big change from teaching kids to teaching adults. Very
Yeah.
different experience. How did you bridge that gap as a young teacher?
Um, I guess it came very naturally
Mm-hmm.
because I realized that when teaching 18, 19-year-olds, and also I was teaching postgraduate students as
Yeah.
well. So
Mm-hmm.
so young adults,
Yeah.
more on the adult side
Yeah.
than on the young side,
Yeah.
hopefully. Um, I guess I was still 24, 25, so
Mm-hmm.
close to them in age. It was just
Yeah.
very natural. I did not have to um, build discipline.
Yeah.
So much. I guess, of course,
Yeah.
I still have to, depended on the groups.
Yeah.
But I could develop relationships really quickly
Yeah.
with the students
Mm-hmm.
uh, without forcing some teacher role. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
here, maybe I can go back to the question about ELT self. So if working at school, I think that I probably felt I had to
Mm-hmm.
create the teacher self.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And at university, I didn't feel like I had to create it. And maybe in some ways I should have. In
Yeah.
certain cases, I should have.
Yeah.
I should for authority in certain cases,
Mm.
But I felt like I was having a conversation with students
Yeah.
uh, most of the time. And sometimes they acted out more than being adults. But
Yeah.
still, I just felt very comfortable
Yeah.
immediately in that role.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you could be your more genuine self. You didn't have to play a role or do things just because you were the teacher. You could
Yes,
most of the
yes.
time just be Anna.
Yes, just be Anna, and here's what I have for you now, and you tell me what you have. And of course,
Yeah.
it's organized and
Yeah.
so on, and pedagogy and methodology and so on.
Yeah.
But still, it's a different sort of environment, and
Hmm.
I think by now I also understand that it's because students have, I feel, a lot more responsibility for their own learning in
Yeah.
university. It also adds up to the fact what's happening in the classroom or what can happen in the classroom or
Yeah.
how I talk to them, my
Yeah.
expectations for what they do in the classroom.
Yeah. Right. So you moved quite quickly in your career into the university sphere, and you've stayed in
Yes.
university and academic work since then, and spent almost all of your career, almost all 20 years there.
Yes. So with a break of 1 year,
Uh-huh.
um, when I moved to Japan in 2015,
Oh,
for the
okay.
first year, I worked in high school, in an
Hmm.
international high school. But that was only 1 year when I returned to school, still working with young adults, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, but a year after that, I returned back to the university environment. Lucky. I was
Yeah.
lucky that I had a
Yeah.
chance. I was lucky that I had a chance to do that.
Hmm. But you had experience too, which you could
Yeah.
bring. So there was that too. It wasn't that you had only worked with children and were trying to break into university and
No.
academia. You had that background too to carry you forward.
Yes.
Yeah. So 20 years in ELT, that's a long time. When you look at it over that time, how has ELT changed? What changes in ELT have affected you or involved you?
Um, this is interesting question and kind
Hmm.
of I don't want to generalize, right? And
Hmm.
you asking about me.
Yeah.
I guess I could truly say that I became part of ELT community, or I felt I became
Hmm.
part of ELT community was in 2011 when I
Hmm.
joined Twitter.
Oh.
Um, in a difficult moment of my life, I joined Twitter and I met all of the people who the listeners probably know, and James Taylor was one of them, uh,
Yeah.
and many, many, many others, of course. And so I really felt like the world opened up.
Yeah.
What's going on? There
Yeah.
is ELT. So I guess my understanding of ELT as a profession, as a
Hmm.
global profession,
Yeah.
started to form back then.
Yeah.
And so from the very beginning, it was the important word was the community.
Yeah.
It really felt like back then, especially, it really felt to me like I found the community.
Yeah.
Uh, and Twitter was the beginning, then blogosphere, everybody was blogging back then so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
and I became one of them. And all these challenges that we had, as in
Yeah.
what is black blog challenges when you write about something and then just spreads and different
Yeah.
other bloggers different perspectives, just like so it was fun and about teaching and about learning and everything together. It was just a wonderful time. And
Mm.
then I don't know if you heard, International
Yeah.
Teacher Development Institute.
Yeah.
I got involved with that, and that became like I cannot talk about my teaching life without talking about ITDI,
Yeah.
because again I'm here because of ITDI.
Hmm.
um, Barbara, Chuck, and Stephen, and everybody else. And so I guess that's where my starting point is. Maybe
Yeah.
so it's less than 20 years ago, from 2011.
Yeah.
And now I see a change in what community looks like online,
Yeah.
at least,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Just as a simple example of blogs, where are they?
Yeah.
And I'm part of that, right?
Yeah.
I do have my blog, but the last time I blogged was probably 2022.
Oh, okay. So it's been a little while.
It's been a while, yes. And in that time, I could say there was COVID, and then I was doing my master's, and you can
Mm.
come up with all sorts of reasons why you're not
Mm.
blogging. But
Yeah.
ultimately, because it's not just me, we can see that it's not really happening so much.
Yeah.
Um, so then I wonder what
Yeah.
happened. What happened to the community
Mm.
online?
Yeah.
Um, I saw that Lindsay Clanfield started blogging recently.
Mm.
Um, Maybe we can share a link to that blog.
Yeah, absolutely. Sandy Millen never stopped. She's just a
Sandy
machine.
Millen, she's the machine. Yes, I don't
Yes.
know. We cannot really get
That's
all the
all right. Yeah.
for
Um,
sure. But
and
for others, yeah, I would like to know, and I think it's a natural process, and I wonder if anybody ever did any research into what are the causes of that natural
yeah.
process,
Yeah.
and what did it mean for the people? Because the people who I would see as my community back then,
Yeah.
um, a lot of them are still there on
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah.
not on Twitter, which
Yeah.
rest in peace. Uh, I still see them, of course, on Instagram and Facebook, and I know that they're
Yeah.
doing great things. So my theory is that people moved on in
Yeah.
their own directions.
Hmm.
People moved on in their directions, and so what gave the boost in the early connected years
Yeah.
was really the boost, and then we all went our places and our own purposes.
Yeah, and the platforms changed, and who managed platforms changed, and how they worked, and different platforms emerged, and yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. So, I mean, nowadays, your main focus is on communities of practice for ELT instructors in higher education and educational leadership and management, like support systems. Those are the two things you focus on now, right?
Mm.
If I have that right?
Uh, it's partly right.
Yeah,
It's it's among my key interests
yeah,
for it's been for a while, and
yeah.
I already mentioned that community
Hmm.
was a key word for my
Yeah.
teaching since
Yes,
2011, right? So it
absolutely.
kind of came naturally in
Yeah.
higher education as well. So I guess I just started to form a more like I could formulate my interest now,
Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
in that um, in my workplaces. I have described to you two of the workplaces, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
In more or less detail. But then I taught at a university in Japan, and now in Vietnam. It's been 6 years working at
Hmm.
the same university as well.
Yeah.
Very lucky again. Um, and just by my own observations, by making comparisons, by
Hmm.
talking to some people, um, I just started noticing certain things
Yeah.
about by the environment. So something that I thought was um, regarding the management, right? Just how important
Yeah.
management is.
Yeah.
From that idea of that it's important, moving on to the next idea of um, what is it that actually makes higher education work
Yeah.
for, but not only for English language teachers who are part of it. For
Hmm.
example, EAP courses or foundational courses, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but there are also other lectures. So in my previous workplaces, I did not really interact so much with lecturers who were not teaching language or language related class.
Ah.
So I did not know. I They were in their own departments at their own
Yeah.
time, and we never crossed paths.
Yeah.
Uh, at this workplace now, I see them a lot. I talk to them
Yeah.
during lunchtime.
Yeah.
I'm really exposed actually more to them than to other language teachers, probably.
Yeah.
Uh, it has been different times. So just through conversation, I wonder how much support do they need? How much support do they get? What do they view as support? What kind of development
Hmm.
universities provide? My university, other universities.
Hmm.
What are the existing systems
Yeah.
for professional development for
Hmm.
in higher education?
Yeah.
Because this is obviously such a huge topic,
Yeah.
and I just want to think that maybe communities of practice and
Hmm.
communities overall are not a panacea. It's not an answer to all of our
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
But I could see it from my previous experience of working in Tokyo that it was extremely helpful for me and for other teachers.
Hmm.
Um, and anyway, yes, I'm hoping to learn more about that in
Hmm.
if I have a chance and maybe create something like that
Hmm.
in my own place. I always think about my own situation, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
because this is where it's possible for me to do something, or maybe
Yeah.
not possible. I don't know, but I'd
Yeah.
like to see at least see what can be done. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. It's interesting because your formative years really impacted what you focus on now.
I never thought about it, but now that you say that and making those links, it's true. Yes,
Yeah.
it's exactly true from the very first place. I just thought of it as a very unfortunate, I guess all these years, I thought of it as a very unfortunate moment in my
Hmm.
life,
Yeah.
because I did end up where I am.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, the reason to that was a change in management. And um, now that I finished studying master's degree that where we spent a lot of effort learning about the management part
Hmm.
uh, of not just in education, I suppose, but that as well, but just
Hmm.
management as a field.
Hmm.
I realize how really complex it is.
Yeah.
And of course, the persona of the manager
Hmm.
is very important, but there are also so many other factors, and
Yeah.
it's I think it's useful for to have a big picture
Yeah.
because managers' choices on all levels of managers.
Yeah.
You have median boss. They have their own boss,
Yeah.
and so all those all those decisions that are being made, they
Hmm.
have ripple effects,
Yeah. Absolutely.
not on teachers and on students as a result, and
Hmm.
on learning outcomes within the institution, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so I guess I could say that now I'm ready a little bit more to have a bigger picture or to
Yeah.
learn about the bigger picture beyond my classroom.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, I mean, we've looked back a lot, but what about looking forward? Where do you think your journey in ELT is going? Are you going to stay with this focus for a while? Do you think you might find a new interest in the future? What are your
Mhm.
predictions?
Um, yeah, I think first of all, to be clear, what I'm teaching, I think I'm moving away a little bit from
Mhm.
straight ELT because
Yeah.
I've been teaching EAP for a while,
Oh, right.
and then which is of course within the field, uh, but then moved towards more research skills and other
Hmm.
foundation skills. So
Yeah.
with less focus on language, but more
Yeah.
focused on academic skills to support students
Hmm.
studying studying in an international university environment within the Vietnamese context. Because
Hmm.
my students study in a branch of Australian University in Ho
All
Chi Minh
right.
City,
Yeah.
and all of their program is in English. All of their subjects are in English, and the system is quite different from Vietnamese education. So in
Yeah.
my class, we prepare them. What does it mean to do research? What are the expectations of report writing, and so on. So
Yeah.
preparing them to be students, but without so much focus on what language development. This they're supposed to
Yeah.
study in other program.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
also the language development will come while you're
yes,
doing that skills
yes, yes,
development. They
yes,
have
yes,
to
yes.
practically use it all the time. So,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yes,
Uh,
exactly. But they have to be reminded of that actually.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
quite recognize the fact, and
Yeah.
they keep asking. My students actually keep asking me, what should I do? Because I will normally teach them in the very first semester or second semester as they start with the
Yeah.
program, and they ask me, well, listening is hard for me. What should I do? Or reading is hard for me. What should I do? And my answer is like, well, you do all the reading,
Do it
you do
more.
all
Yeah.
attend the lectures, be observant, take notes. So these kind of things are also part
Mm.
of the course that I teach. Kind of basic survival academic skills.
Yeah. 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 They
And
have
so
to
among
go on. Sorry.
yeah, and so among those, at this point, just I'm still interested in the teaching process. It's not
Mm.
just the support and management. Within the class, I'm interested about whether in the link between critical thinking and AI use because I
Hmm.
see that all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out the path and the way to go and how to have a conversation with students about this.
Yeah.
So curriculum design with that in mind and
Yeah.
shifting the courses also interesting again starting from me, and then I start thinking about other subjects.
Yeah.
So lectures of economics, they certainly have the same problem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Their students are using AI to write reports and assignments.
Yeah.
Uh, so then we go to, so this is all linked. My own experiences in my
Yeah.
EAP academic
Hmm.
skills class leads me to think about what we can do as a
Hmm.
university to
Yeah.
support those needs, changing needs
Yeah.
of other lectures and other subjects. So this is very much my interest, and I think I'm going to be moving in that direction. Just trying to understand um, what professional development and higher education looks like and how it can be
Hmm.
better to serve the various needs. And I
Yeah.
want to say that in higher education, the needs for the lectures are so diverse, and
Yeah.
it's really hard, a lot more diverse, I think, than
Yeah.
within ELT only,
Yeah.
because those lectures come in all shapes and forms.
Yeah.
Some of them are industry people who are invited because of their expertise, which they have a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, some of them are like me, language teachers, and they studied some other. Their bachelor's was in management, and now they go back to teaching management. So
Yeah.
it's it's a range of
Yeah.
people, which makes it all the more complicated and of
Yeah.
course more interesting.
Well, yeah, of course. Wow. All right. So, I mean, you've come a long way and done a lot of things over the course of your career. 20 years is not a short time and lots more to come. So, is there anything that you'd say you're particularly proud of that you're thinking, yeah, I'm proud I did that? or learned that or experienced that? Anything that, yeah,
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself for being so brave to move to Japan in 2015,
yeah,
and to see that I can be a teacher and learn and teach and work with others and expand my community
yeah,
wherever I want.
yeah, absolutely.
And from there, I just never thought about it. And
Mm.
teachers around me, maybe back then in Moscow, maybe it was not a common thing for Russian teachers to do. And so
You were a
there was some,
trailblazer.
yeah, I don't know. I think this is too big of a label. But the point is, I'm really proud of the courage that I had back then to make this step.
Yeah,
And because it just showed me that I can do more, a lot more than what I thought I could do. Mhm.
yeah. So is that what you want our listeners to really take away, to be courageous in their development, in their career, to take big steps and ask for things or try things like you did?
This is beautiful. Thank you, Helen. This is what they should take. This this is what they should take away. Couldn't couldn't have said it better. It's easy to say be brave because everybody's situation is
Yeah,
different, right?
absolutely.
Uh, but yes, I do want to say steps, small steps, and
Hmm.
small steps towards a big goal. I
Yeah,
just had a goal. I realized that, oh, I want to move to Japan. Can I do it? Just sounds so huge. Maybe I cannot do it. But then small steps, plan, and it's possible.
yeah,
And then more things. And then with one possible thing, more things become possible.
yeah. That's true. Totally true. Thank you so much, Anna. Um,
Thank you, Helen.
really appreciate you coming on the show. Um, everyone listening, if you want to learn more about Anna, Anna, how can they learn more about you?
Uh, well, my blog,
Yeah.
which is not. I'll promise I'll update it someday. Facebook,
Hmm.
Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm
Hmm.
there. Not so much on LinkedIn, but it's a
Yeah.
good place of contact, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Instagram and Facebook is where I'm at.
Thank you.
Um, yes.
Super. Well,
Thank
everyone, stay in touch with Anna, stay in touch with TDSIG on our social media platforms. If you search ITEFL or TDSIG or just TDSIG, subscribe to the show by hitting the subscribe button on whichever app you're using. And thank you all for listening and see you next time.